Weekly Reddit.
Weekly Reddit.
All right. This happened 2 days ago at me and my wife's wedding, and a lot of people are telling me I'm in the wrong for having my ex arrested, and my wife is saying I ruined the wedding and caused a scene. For a little backstory on my ex, we were together over 5 years ago for a matter of weeks. I broke things off because I just wasn't into her that much. She began to pester me over text and social media all of the time to get back together or just to hook up. This went on for months, and in a particularly weak moment, I gave in and slept with her again. At this point, things got a lot worse. I tried to explain that it was a mistake, and I still didn't want anything with her. From then, the messages ranged from abusive to begging me for sex. Eventually, I just blocked her. From then, she started turning up at my house, work, and social spaces I went to often. She attempted to force herself on me and threatened violence. And at that point, I got a restraining order. Since then, I haven't heard from her in years. I met my wife 3 years ago, and she is honestly the best thing in my life. We fell in love hard and honestly have a great relationship. We got engaged after 2 years, and 2 days ago, we finally had our wedding. The day was going amazingly until a friend of mine, who I'll call Chris, turned up with his plus one, my ex. I spoke to him, and he had absolutely no idea about my history with her, and we tried to get her to leave. After she refused, I decided to just ring the police. 2 officers showed up to arrest her for breaking her restraining order, and she flipped out. She was shouting and screaming. She hurled abuse at my wife and claimed that we were meant to be together, which obviously distracted from our wedding. Now, my wife is upset with me for causing a scene, and a lot of our friends are saying that I should have just ignored it and focused on the day because she wasn't causing any problems up until the police showed up. So am I the asshole?
No, because you knew she was crazy.
I'm like,
she would have objected. They would have got to the end.
Literally. I'm like, I
know
know how this movie ends.
Foolish.
What are your thoughts?
I mean, he was wrong for sleeping with her, but
yeah,
I would say call him
crazy. But
but he acknowledges that. He's like, I that was a weak moment for me. I knew I wasn't really into it, but I did it. But that was also before he.
But how good did you put it on her to where she, you know what I'm saying?
3 years later,
it don't matter.
That's
this girl is crazy.
Like, we supposed to be together at my wedding? That's what you say to me? Like,
and like all she did, she had to have just went through his social media, found people that he had pictures with to find his friend, and then befriended him, and then now she's at his wedding, and you cannot convince me. Yeah, you can't convince me she wasn't doing that to sabotage that wedding.
That was not a coincidence.
And good thing it wasn't during, like you said, during their vows. Objection.
That's why he called the police, because that's exactly what she would have did.
Like, if you were the wife, what would you have done?
I'd be like, good riddance to that crazy bitch ruining my day. I wouldn't have been mad.
We would have had to scrap. I'm sorry. On my wedding day, in the wedding gown, we gonna have to scrap because
roll the dress up.
I don't give a fuck about this. Maybe that's why I shouldn't have a wedding, because I don't give a fuck about that wedding gown.
Girl, why are you continue with the wedding afterwards?
Hell yeah, I beat her ass and then go get married.
But the thing is, how much did the wife know about her? Did he not even tell
the wife
her?
I don't think the wife knew, because I did read the update. There is an update to it that I'm not going to share right now, but the wife did not know.
Okay, well that's why she wasn't that mad, because she didn't know.
I wouldn't give a fuck.
It's just you.
I bet she found out at that wedding.
She didn't know nothing. He called the police, and she like, who the fuck is this?
I've been like, the bitch shouldn't have been here in the first place, and I got a restraining order against you. Why are you here? Because you knew this was my wedding.
Because she was going to crash the wedding.
Wasn't supposed to be within 200 feet of me.
That wedding.
Yeah, she was just going to object to it.
Jezebel.
And somebody actually commented on the post and was like, I want to object at a wedding so bad.
Everybody do. It's just, it's a sick impulse.
And then it's like, if it's your ex, and let's say y'all not on the best of terms, What do I owe you? Why do I owe you a good wedding? Like, what do I owe you that?
I wouldn't even be there.
Like, I don't owe you that. I'm just saying.
I just wouldn't be there.
Because I'm toxic. I'm not finna
Oh,
add all that
you a
extra.
good wedding.
Like, nah. You made my life miserable. You think I'm finna let you ride off in the sunset? Nah, player.
What you mean
Y'all
made your life
toxic.
miserable?
Because if you
That's
my ex,
crazy.
best believe it's your fault
toxic,
100%. You
man.
have shit on your shirt.
So if it's your ex, it's just automatically it's their fault.
Yeah. 'Cause if you love me,
What
you would have
shit is
stayed
that?
with me.
Oh,
Through
no.
thick and thin.
Okay, but when you
Oh,
break up with
no.
people,
You think
Nah,
it should be
that's
a
a
clean cut when you
Yeah.
do.
Clean cut. Right down the middle. I'm not fair. I never said I was. I never said I would. You can do the same to me. It's free game. If you come to my wedding, you
You
object.
just said they can't do it.
Nah, they can.
how would you
But
react?
best believe my sisters and my cousins, they often put hands and feet on you before you leave this place. We ain't even go that far. But
Okay, so let's say you getting married
Mm-hmm.
and the wife ex does this.
Mm-hmm.
How you
How
react?
feel?
I'm sorry.
gonna
That's
roll
a
that
level
brother
of
up.
disrespect
They
that I
gonna
cannot not put hands on you.
they gonna have to roll you up, brother.
Literally.
Because you disrespected me to the fullest.
Like, that's just a level.
But you would do it. You just.
I'm toxic.
Too much,
I'm toxic. I'm gonna
man.
do it and walk off. I ain't finna do all that extra. We
So
need
you
to
gonna
be
say I'm
together.
objecting and leave?
Yeah. I'm gonna say y'all don't need to be together.
Okay, but
Y'all don't look right together or something crazy. And I'm just
should've
gonna
been
exit state.
me.
Ooh, no.
Please
no,
don't.
no.
It sound like that's what she did. But so you would. What if it didn't even get to the whole actual exchanging vows and shit? What if it was like this situation where he called the police before they even got to that point, and now you being escorted out by police?
Embarrassed. Like now.
Still gonna get it off. I gotta get it off. I gotta get it off on the way out. Y'all don't belong together. Y'all don't look right together. I'm gonna add extra on it. She cheating on you, brother.
And that's what he said. A lot
Enjoy
of people
your
started
wife.
thinking was that he was cheating on his now wife, and I'm like, that she's just crazy.
But the thing is, if you knew she was that crazy, I would have told her, like, hey, by the way, this might happen. Like,
But
be
at that-
mentally prepared.
But at
it's
that
like when you
point,
slept
he
with
hadn't
her.
seen her for 3 years or heard
But
from her, so
in
he
the
probably
back of
didn't
his
think.
mind, he said, nah, this crazy bitch.
But
gonna
when he
die.
left, like didn't he have a restraining order prior to sleeping with her?
No,
No.
Oh, that was after.
It was after
he
she
got
started
the
acting
restraining
crazy.
order after she got crazier after they slept together,
Oh, well, that
and
brother,
then he got the restraining
Mhm.
order,
brother,
and
how
then he
good
didn't
did you
hear
put
from
it
her for
on?
over 3
Nothing.
years.
He didn't give her nothing special. She just crazy.
Literally,
He
it don't
didn't do nothing extra.
it don't take much for people to lose.
That brother
their
got
mind.
extra freaked out or
No.
something because ain't no way she getting that crazy. Like,
She was already crazy. He didn't do nothing.
People get crazier over less. Like, let's
then
be
it's
for
like
real.
prior to that, I want to know how long they was together. You know what I
He
mean?
just said a couple weeks that they
Only a
fucked
couple
around.
weeks.
And then she kept messaging him and shit. She had to have not been stable when she
Yeah.
she met him.
Nah, or hadn't had human touch.
Probably that too. A little bit of both.
I'm saying she
actually.
didn't need to be around the general republic. I mean, like that's crazy.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine getting married to somebody and,
Mhm.
and another chick shows up that used to be an ex of his that has every intention of derailing the wedding. Like, I'm sorry.
Or
They could
ruining my-
tell
my
the
f-
photographer to take pictures of me beating her ass because I want to remember this. Like,
The
no.
thing is, she probably didn't even have a chance to get mad because she probably was getting dressed, getting ready. He calling the police. She like, what's going on? The bitch
Probably,
already in
yeah.
shackles. Like, she don't got nothing
But
to
I
do.
don't know. As the future wife, I would also be like, I know this dude enough to know that he wouldn't just cause a scene at
For
all
no
wedding for no
reason.
reason.
At his own
So I'm
wedding.
not gonna get mad at him for this because there has to be a reason.
But would you continue to get married if you found out, like,
Or it's
The
because
whole
that bitch is crazy?
yeah, because you slept with her?
I mean, well, let's be for real. I have messed with somebody that had a crazy ex. So
How'd
She-
you deal with that?
I didn't. That was his problem to deal with, not
and
mine.
that's how you handle it. You stay out. Like, no.
Okay.
Only thing I told him about that girl was because she lived a pretty good distance away from my house, that there's nothing on my side of town that she couldn't have gotten on her side of the town.
Mm.
So I told him, if I ever see that girl in my neighborhood, I'm gonna assume she there to fight me, and I'm gonna give her everything she looking for.
You gonna give her all you got?
I'm gonna give her everything she looking for. And he said, and he told her that.
Mm.
And I said, well, maybe that's why I never hear from her. But she would take pictures, like she would take screenshots of like my social media and send it to him.
Oh, because you was telling me about that.
Yeah.
Like, you would assume that, like,
Hmm.
because wouldn't she take, like, your social media posts, and let's say, like, a mirror or something, or a lamp or something in his room? And
Yeah, I took a picture in a mirror in his bedroom, and she stalked my Facebook page, took a screenshot of it, sent it to him so that she knew that I was there. And he proceeded to tell her, you fucked with some people that I fucked with before. I would not fuck with her if I was you. And I said, you ain't have to tell her that. I low key was praying I would see that girl on my side of town. Cause I was like, she got the right damn one.
Maybe I'm lazy because soon as like, oh, I got a crazy ex. Well, you and that crazy bitch can be happy together. I'm busy.
Well,
I got shit to do.
Also didn't find out about the crazy ex until feelings was involved.
Girl, what feelings? I can eradicate them the moment they showed up.
Woo.
They gone.
Cold-blooded. You hear this? Cold-blooded. No, eradicate? That's a strong word. Eradicate? Not suppress? You just gonna
obliterate them.
I am the owner of my universe.
Like it's a withdrawal. I quit cold turkey on your feelings. Jeez.
Yeah. That's how I'm mentally stable.
Nah. Yeah. That dude, yeah. I've had to deal with somebody that had crazy. And some of the stories he's told me about what she's done to other people he's fucked with, I'm just like, it takes too much energy to be that crazy.
Over somebody.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't.
And in that woman's case,
but then
all
he was leading her on because he went right back to her crazy.
He sure did. He sure did. But
he did
I just don't. I don't have the time to be crazy over somebody like that. I don't even want to be, because that means they have way too much control over you. I don't like that. Like, I tried to be crazy once and it just wasn't fun. After I did it, I was like, and yes, I achieved my goal. I got him to do what I wanted him to do. But afterwards, I was just like, that doesn't feel good. I feel stupid.
Because it was crazy.
I was like, I feel stupid. I don't want to do that again.
And I'm just too lazy to do it. I'm just too lazy. I've never done it. Like,
but I think there's a difference between being like just toxic and crazy.
I would want you to think I'm crazy of you just for the love of the game.
For what?
Why?
Because then you just gonna think like, oh, he loved me. He obsessed over me. Then when I hurt your feelings, don't be surprised.
But why?
Because now I'm a reciprocator.
Like,
be surprised. You set it up so that she would be surprised.
Because I don't do it first. I'm just gonna do it worse.
What is the objective here?
What is the objective? Satisfaction, entertainment, a storyline.
You got a damn TV.
A storyline. Okay,
I'm my own villain.
You want to be the villain in her story? Okay.
What? Again, you never answered my question.
I just told you, entertainment. No, I have no rhyme or reason. It just makes sense.
Boy, I hope you like your bacon crispy because you going to hell. Because I don't.
We both going.
Who?
Me and you.
No, I am not.
Okay, behind the scenes.
No, I am not.
I think the only one that's safe from hell, according to this, is me.
No, it ain't.
Yeah, we'll see the comments. We'll see the comments when this video drop.
Man, look. They've been coming for us lately.
I know, so bad.
My favorite one is the bike one that y'all told me. That was crazy.
When we got called retarded bitches.
Yeah, for the bike.
Damn.
Like, damn, all right, well. I still ain't getting on nobody fucking bike.
I didn't know not riding a bike just meant you just, you know.
Yeah, apparently if you don't know how to ride a bike, you just a retarded bitch.
Like, jeez.
Oh my God, we fell and didn't want to keep getting up.
I had a bad experience. I had a bad experience. Like, damn.
Damn.
Yeah, so
like, fuck.
Have y'all seen the Michael movie?
No, I need to. I've been hearing all kind of mixed reviews on it. Did you watch it?
I did see it. I saw it on Tuesday, I think it was.
Did you like it?
It was all right.
Were you a big Michael Jackson
fan? I was.
Mm-hmm.
And am still a big Michael Jackson fan. I had thoughts on that movie that I don't think anybody would like because all the comments that I've seen about the Michael movie is that 10 out of 10 is the greatest movie, blah, 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 blah. And first of all, let's start with the fact that there's going to be a part 2. It ends on a continuation.
I've seen that.
Okay.
I said, that's stupid. And
because to be fair, 2 hours ain't enough to span 40 years.
So
of
I
his
did
life.
expect this to be Star Wars level long movie.
Mm-hmm.
I did expect that. But I also didn't expect the movie to end before you even get to the 90s. Like,
Wait.
What was
Hold up. Wait a minute.
it was just the 70s.
We ain't even get to the early 2000s.
No. I said, you want me to come back to watch more of
That's
this?
how they get you.
And
They didn't even get to Butterfly Michael
no,
Jackson.
they didn't. They didn't.
Really? So they ended like probably what?
I think it ended at like 89 or something like that. I was just like, we ain't even make it to the 90s.
So y'all went through half of.
We got to meet Bubbles. I will say that, the fucking monkey. I didn't give a fuck about
We
that
didn't
monkey.
get to remember the time.
No, wasn't no remember. It was mainly
No
just,
Dangerous album. This is too much for me.
it was
This is
mainly
too much for me.
it was mainly just Thriller, which was I didn't even
I get
realize
it.
Thriller was that fucking old either. Honestly,
Yeah, it's
one of
old
his biggest
shit.
songs.
Yeah, it's old
yeah, I think it's one of his biggest albums. But yeah, they made it past Thriller and Not Dangerous, Bad, and all that stuff. And I felt,
90s.
especially when I saw the continuation at the end,
Mhm.
I said, now this movie feels like a cash grab from his siblings. Because literally all of his siblings are like, I think, executive producers of this movie, except for Janet. They're all listed as executive producers for this.
Well, Janet's
this
the one
movie.
with money. She don't need to.
Is that well, true. But when I was like, so y'all want people to come back to watch the second half of this, and God knows how many years.
Mm.
And honestly, probably already working on it.
You know they already working on it.
And it's gonna be.
And I said, this man is dead and his family is still profiting off of him like that. That's crazy. But his nephew did do a really good job as him. I do think that Jafar Jackson, he did a really good job as Michael Jackson. The other thing I felt about this movie, I was like, it really just feel like they wanted to also make a movie about how bad Joe Jackson was.
But we all knew he was the
I was like,
because the guy that they casted as him, he
Yeah.
looked like that man.
He looked, he was
ugly.
He was fitting. He was fitting. But I was like, they did a whole movie about Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5 before, and I kind of got that impression. So I didn't learn anything new. I'm like, all I saw was a bunch of dancing and singing and
His daddy
bubbles
issues.
and a damn giraffe. Like, other than that,
So you felt like it was more of a sing along than a.
Or a cash
Yeah.
grab.
it felt like a cash grab to me, especially when I saw that it's ending on a continuation, to be continued. I was like, who ends a movie like that?
We couldn't at least get like, you know how like at the end they give you a synopsis, like let's say they do a concert from the 90s, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then it's like, okay, later on Michael had these albums, this and that, and then at the end he passed from, all that.
No, it didn't do anything like that. It literally had
Cash
him
grab,
do,
100%.
It had
I'll
literally
watch it and
went to
see.
like 89, and it showed his back at the concert, which is also how it begins. And then he goes out on stage. Oh, it goes to the farewell tour of Jackson 5 when he
Okay.
pissed his daddy off by saying on stage, this is going to be our last tour, which happened in, I believe, the late 80s. And then it was like, then it literally came
that's
up
when
and
he
said
fired
to
his
be
dad.
continued.
That's when he fired his dad.
No, he fired his dad way before that.
I'm gonna watch it.
I mean, I think people should watch it,
I'm gonna see.
but for me, I was just like, it's a movie. It's a movie about somebody dead, and honestly, ain't even really a movie about him. It was, I don't know. It's hard for
Was
me
it
to
all
explain.
over the place, kind of?
Yes and no, because it does have like time jumps. Because they're trying to fit so much of it in 2 hours. So you do go from like, kid Michael to now adult Michael, but it lets you know the years as you're going so that
Okay.
you can prepare for this time jump. I thought the kid was weird looking too.
Don't be talking about nobody kid.
Did it have that one song on there?
He had a really I think to me, it didn't feel like it was an actual child. It felt like some type of effect to make him kind of look like
like that
Michael.
baby from Twilight.
And it just felt
I
like
never watched that.
it
Well, the
felt like
baby
his
looked weird.
they made his
His
head bigger than what it needed to be.
Oh, baby.
CGI.
That's what I'm like. It feels like they put some type of effect on him that to me, it is like, he just looks a little weird. But the dad looked really weird too. I was just like, and I've seen the dad in other movies, and I was like, he don't typically look like that.
And he was so ugly. I said,
Yeah.
oh my God.
He looked evil. And I was just
He was
like,
supposed to.
He looked
Yeah.
like the cat from, remember Oz?
Huh?
Remember Oz?
With the lion?
No, the Wiz. Was it the Wiz, the
no, I've
lion?
never seen the Oz.
Not Oz. The Wiz.
You talking about the Wiz when Michael Jackson played the lion?
Yeah.
The cowardly lion?
Girl, that Reese little peanut butter cup thing they had on his nose.
Girl, it's been so long since I've seen that fucking movie. All I remember is ease on down the road. And that's all I remember. But I do think people should watch it. And I'm not saying it was a bad movie. It was a good movie. It was entertaining. But I think the only people that would really learn something new about it is people that aren't really that familiar with Michael Jackson's music anyway. Watch it? Exactly. I'm like, other than that, they pretty much just said everything we already knew.
But have you seen though on the Wii the game, the Michael Jackson game for Jackson?
I haven't. The Jackson Experience or something like that. I haven't played it before.
They wanted $35 for a game that's at least 15.
That's crazy.
15 years old.
Really?
That's crazy.
That's it. On the Wii? That's it. In the
servers?
Wii? The servers ain't even up on it, brother.
I'm like, who? Does anybody still have a Wii nowadays?
Like, come on.
Do they even still make Wiis?
No, they don't make Wiis. They got Switch. They got Nintendo Switches.
Oh yeah, that's true. Because I have one of those.
Yeah.
Waste of money, but I have it.
Whatever. Eventually, love that damn thing.
I'm talking about for me, it's a waste of money.
Tablet at this point.
Yeah, the 2. The Switch 2. My brother got one.
I'm talking about for me, it's a waste of money. I think mine is a Switch 2. I don't want to put the energy into doing it, so it just sits on the countertop looking pretty.
Dead wrong.
What you mean I'm dead wrong? Why?
There are children out here that still ain't got one.
And they can have it if I find them. Like
tax write off.
Charity.
That ain't even no charity. Write off.
You know, that's one of my problems. I don't like to I have a bunch of shit that I just don't use and don't want. But I don't want to put the energy into putting it on some website or something to sell it.
And meeting up with some stranger.
Yeah, I'm like, if you want it, just tell me you want it and here, have it. Just get it out of my life.
Center or something.
That still requires me to do something.
Where's the Jillian Center? I ain't never
downtown. It's the Center for Domestic Violence. I used to volunteer there.
Yeah, you should. They would like a Switch,
and they can have it if they come get it.
They not gonna come.
Or if you going that way, here, take it with you. I don't want to have to do anything. That's the problem.
Make sure we put your name.
No, they don't even have to know it's from me. Here, take it.
Make sure the Jillian Center come see you. Thank you for your donation.
I don't need their card. I did that when I donated a bunch of my art jewelry that I'd be making. Donated it to Riley's Hospital for Mother's Day so that they could pick it out and give it to their mothers. They sent me a card afterward. Well, first they tried to send me a card. I guess it was going to my old address. And then they emailed me. It was like, we've been trying to send you this card. It came back with wrong address. And I was just like, I thought I was done. Like,
what are you mad about a card for?
I'm not mad about it.
I think she just wanted it to be a one-sided transaction.
Yeah, I just wanted to give it and just be done with it. I didn't need that. Yeah.
Most people have a heart, Jocelyn.
And honestly,
no, they're self-serving. Me and Jocelyn already talked about this.
Oh, yeah.
Expecting the card, expecting them to say something is the self-serving people. And I'm like, I don't need you to send me something to say thank you. Like, honestly, you could have took everything I donated and threw it in the trash for all I care. I mean, I would have been upset because I did make that shit.
Yeah, I'm about to say, wait a minute now. Wait.
But at the same time, once I donated to them, there's to do with what they see fit. Like, so... If one of them kids' mothers never got it, it would have been unknown to me. So I don't know, but like I said, I think people should watch the movie. It was a good movie. It just isn't something that I would watch again, and I wouldn't go see a number 2. I wouldn't go see
then
Michael number 2.
Damn movie.
What are they even gonna name it?
Then it wasn't a good movie.
Michael number 2. Like, I don't know.
Part 2 is probably
part 2. Yeah,
yeah, they'll probably call it part 2.
Like, and by good movie, I mean it served the purpose of entertaining.
Was the dance? Was the choreography pretty good?
Oh, he was. Yeah, the choreo was good. He was on point with the choreo. They had Mike Myers in there too. I didn't realize.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, he played one of the record execs.
Huh.
And I was sitting there looking at him talking for like honestly the whole time he was on there, and then finally because I wanted to pull out my phone and just look up IMDb to be like, is Mike Myers in this fucking movie? Because I did not expect to see him here. And finally, I just looked at Nate and I said, is that fucking Mike Myers? He's like, you know what? It might be. And then he said something that we could hear his accent. And I said, yeah, that's fucking Mike Myers. But he did a good job in it too. It wasn't a comedic role, but I had never seen him play something other than a comedic role. So
Because in Austin Powers
is still my shit.
well, Gold Member is probably my favorite one.
That's everybody's favorite.
There was some song. The daddy wasn't there.
Take me to the fair.
Man,
Choose
Mike
my
Myers is
underwear.
actually pretty damn funny. I don't care what
I
nobody
like when
say.
he had the mini me.
Mini Me with
Would
the
fuck him up every time.
Mini Me was
Or his
was-
other persona, the Scottish one, the fat guy, fat bastard.
oh, fat bastard with I want my baby back, baby back, baby back.
baby.
The one I like was Dr. Evil and him and his interaction with his
is he
son.
the pinky.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Him and his son would get to arguing.
because that was
Comedy.
Seth Green, wasn't it? His son.
Well, yeah.
Scotty. That was his
Scotty.
name.
Yeah, but
Scotty.
Seth Green was his
Mhm.
name.
Actor,
Yeah. All right. I got a confession that I found.
Okay.
I thought it was yours.
Who
I was
killed
gonna say,
somebody?
Wait a minute.
Nah, I ain't never gonna be confessing to nothing on nothing I'm
You
recording.
ain't gonna confess to nothing.
I'm dumb, but I ain't dumb. No, I'm not dumb.
Let's say you didn't admit it to it. Now
Make
you
sure you
finna-
cut that out.
We
But
gotta preface it with the way we getting attacked. She had to
for
say
real,
They gonna say, I knew it.
it. I know. I knew
like
it.
I knew that
Bragging
bitch was
and
stupid.
we
Anyway,
should be laughing at that.
look, people are funny. They gonna like people will take
Mhm.
anything we say and make it whatever they want to say.
Even if it's on the side of what they think, they'll
Yes.
flip it. Like,
They
like
debate with
literally right
us.
now we this morning me and Jay literally going back and forth with somebody on a short where we said men don't really give us that much credit for, like, we're more logical than men will typically give us
as
credit for.
women. Mhm.
And literally a man got in there and was like, you guys let your emotions control you. And I was just like,
What?
okay.
all right,
I
bro.
was like, we never said that women aren't run by emotions. All we said was we're more logical than we're giving credit for.
That was
We
it.
didn't say we're more logical than men. We didn't say that
wasn't even a
men are less
comparing
emotional than us, but that's what he heard. And
And went
I
on a
literally
rant.
had to break that down for him and say, we did not say this. And then he followed us afterwards.
Mhm.
I was like,
He was
so
debating
you
with both
wanted
of
to
us.
argue with us.
Mhm.
You saw that didn't work, so then you chose to follow us. You
Mhm.
know what? Engagement is
It's
engagement.
engagement.
So sure.
Thank you.
He
Frank.
wasn't the only one though.
No, there's other people that's but I'm like, the only time you're gonna get me responding is first thing in the morning. Like,
And this was where these comments were at 7 a.m.
Yeah. I'm like, once I get out of bed and get my day going, I'm probably not gonna be doing a lot of responding. So he got us at the right time.
And
And
I
I was surprised.
old and we up because it's 7 a.m.
I
Had they
saw
wrote at
Jay
12,
co-
I wouldn't have seen it.
I saw Jay comment, why are you so upset by women being logical?
It was a valid question. Why are you
He
upset?
said he like him. He said he like him dumb.
I like
yeah.
him dumb, is what he said.
I was
That's
just
basically
like,
what he
dude,
said.
I would have no issue with him arguing with us if we had actually said that. But I'm like, we never
And
said
it wasn't even like a opening up a argument type of comment. You know what I mean? It was just a statement. Like,
That's why it's called a girl's perspective. It's our perspective.
he ain't trying to hear that though.
Like I said,
Engagement
I
is engagement.
welcome
Hey.
people to disagree with us on stuff. I mean, be respectful would be our preference. But at the same time, if you're going to argue with us about something, at least be arguing about something that we actually said.
Yeah, at least listen to the whole.
And
statement.
that's my thing. Listen to the damn clip.
I'm like, I'm all
Listen,
about the
just follow.
dialogue, but I didn't say it, so I can't argue with you on this. I didn't say it. I'm like, I don't know what you want me to say, sir.
Mm-mm.
But anyway,
It
this
happens.
confession. All right, it says, I live in a shitty apartment complex where the walls are basically made of paper, and my neighbor was this guy who probably shouldn't be allowed to own a houseplant, let alone a living creature.
Okay.
Even though houseplants are living organisms as well. Let's be clear on that. He had this small black cat that he would just leave out on the balcony for hours, regardless of the weather. I could hear the poor thing crying through the vents while he was inside blasting music or shouting at his Xbox. One night, it started pouring rain and the temperature dropped hard, and I saw the cat shivering on the railing, looking miserable as hell. I just reached over from my balcony, grabbed the cat, and brought it inside. I didn't even think about it, just reacted. The next morning, I heard him shouting in the hallway, asking everyone if they had seen his pet. I just stood there with my door cracked open and told him I hadn't seen a thing. And maybe the cat finally jumped off because it was fed up with his shit. He spent weeks putting up posters and walking around the block and walking around the block calling his name while the cat was literally sleeping on my bed 10 feet away from him. It has been 6 months now, and he still brings it up whenever we cross paths in the laundry room. He looks genuinely devastated sometimes, which would make me feel bad if I hadn't seen him ignore the cat's bowls for days at a time back then. The cat is doing great now, by the way. I renamed him, and he is healthy as hell because he actually gets fed decent food and doesn't have to freeze his tail off outside. I have to be extremely careful though. I never let him near the windows when the blinds are up, and I have a specific routine for when I take out the trash so he doesn't actually dart into the hallway. It is a stressful way to live, but seeing the cat actually purring instead of screaming makes it worth the paranoia. My friends think I just adopted him from a shelter in the next town over, and I am never telling them the truth. Sometimes I see the neighbor at the local bar looking through old photos on his phone
of the cat,
and I just sit there drinking my beer and saying nothing. I know it is technically theft,
yes,
and I am a liar, but some people just don't deserve the loyalty of an animal. He probably thinks a coyote got it or someone picked it up off the street, which is technically true, I guess.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
I just happen to be that someone. The cat seems to prefer my taste in movies anyway, so we are sticking to the plan. I will probably move out when my lease is up just to end the risk of him hearing the meow through the wall. Until then, I am just the helpful neighbor who offers a sympathetic nod while the evidence is napping in my living room.
She's a terrible person. She's a terrible person. She watching him suffer. She stole his cat. She can call it what she want to call it. She literally took it off his property and put it in her house.
I mean, to be fair though, he was neglecting the cat.
He was neglecting that cat.
That don't mean you can steal somebody's cat because you feel like they'll have a better place with you.
And I think I've told this story on here before about the lady that did try to steal somebody's dog that I was trying to help. And the people was clearly neglecting this dog. Like the fur was all matted. You could tell the dog was not being taken care of. And I take my little happy ass outside one morning to go to the grocery store, which I already hate doing anyway. And I get to the entrance of my housing addition, and across the street, I see a smallest dog, like a teacup dog, just roaming down 30th Street. I said, this is a busy fucking street. That dog should not be by itself out here. So I picked the dog up, fully intended to see if I could find the owner and get this dog somewhere where it ain't gonna die. Mm-hmm. And I also had to be at work at community that day too. So I'm also pretty short on time. So I had reached out to one of my coworkers and asked her hey, while I look for this dog's owner, would you be able to help me take it in? Because I also have to go to work, and I have a cat here too that ain't gonna be too happy with another pet being here. Mm. And she was like, yeah. So then I started doing some research and stuff okay, what are the laws? What do I have to do? And I see that they say you can keep the dog. If you don't find the owner within 5 to 10 days or something like that, you can rehome it, keep it for yourself or whatever. And so when I get to work the next day, she's talking to me about the dog. I get to like my primary job the next day with her. We're talking about the dog, and she's like, "Oh yeah, my sister saw it." And, you know, she was like, you know, if we can't find an owner, she'd like to keep the dog. And I said, yeah, there's apparently laws around that. So if we don't find an owner within this period of time, then you can give the dog to your sister. So she knew this. She gave the dog to her sister that day. And then somebody, because I put a picture of the dog in the neighborhood app thing like that. And somebody was like, this is our dog. And I asked them, like, do they have proof? And blah, blah, blah. They provided proof that it was their dog. And I'm just like, all right, we got to give these people their dog back. She's like, I already gave the dog away. And I was just like, you need to give them their dog back.
It's illegal.
I was like, and then now, because these people are only dealing with me, they think I'm stealing their dog. So they take and post pictures of me on this neighborhood thing talking about I'm stealing their dog. And I'm like, I promise you, I don't want your dog. I was just trying to help the damn dog because I saw it on 30th Street by itself. I'm like, I don't want a dog.
And if
I've
it
had
wasn't
a
for me,
dog
the
before. I
dog
didn't
would have,
like it.
you know what I mean?
Huh?
And if it wasn't for you, the dog would have.
Who knows what would have happened to that fucking dog? But now I'm labeled as the thief, and I had also just moved in this house. Yeah. So I'm like, I don't need to be creating enemies in my neighborhood.
Yeah, you know, one thing people don't play about is dogs and children.
Yeah. And so I'm like, I'm literally going back and forth with them, like, give these people their dog back.
Was they taking pictures of your house and stuff?
I think they found like my Facebook or something and took pictures from there.
This thief.
Like, she's stealing us. She won't give us our dog back. And then I had to come and like, I promise you, I'm trying to get them their dog back. I promise you. And the woman is like, and then she's like, well, the dog is all the way out in Seymour, Indiana now. So I said, well, then look like you need to drive out to Seymour, Indiana and get it. Like, what are you talking about? And it's like, why would you give up their dog?
If I told you there was laws involved, what makes you think like, I'm above the law, I'm just going to keep the dog?
And she was like, well, you told me I could give it to my sister. I said, I told you after the time period.
After 10 days.
Then you can. And she's like, well, my sister has it. And I was just like, you need to go get their dog. And then I also had like my my tube tie surgery scheduled for like literally that week too. I was like, look, I'm trying to mentally prepare to be put to sleep for a surgery. Yeah. Like, I don't want to be worrying about somebody fucking dog that I don't even want anyway.
And then it's like, once I get up, I got to recover. I don't got time to be sitting here with the rigmarole.
The lady, I would have put that lady information on that neighborly app. Would have been like, I don't got time for your thief.
Eventually, I created a group chat and I put both of them in it. And I said, you guys are talking to each other now. Like, I'm getting out of it. And then they asked them, could you meet us? Like, they were working with her. She was like, well, we can meet at this place or whatever. And then she would just not respond to them. I'm like, you need to respond to them. They're trying to get their dog back. So finally, literally the day after I have this surgery, she refuses to still meet up with them. So she drops the dog off at my house. She damn near threw that dog for a field goal at me. Like, I couldn't even get the door open enough before she had that dog in my house.
Launched
that damn dog. And I was just like, God damn. I was like, I'm trying to recover from the surgery. I don't want to be dealing with this shit. So then I had to go meet up with the people and give them their dog back. And I was just like, so now, I'm sorry. Whenever I see a dog on the street, I drive past that thing. I'm like, I'm not doing it.
Do you speed up a little bit?
No, I don't speed up a little bit.
Not to hit the dog, but I'm saying to avoid the dog. See this? I'm telling y'all, Jade ain't as innocent as y'all think.
But based on what you just told, what you just told us about you, why would we think anything else?
To hit the dog though?
But you literally just told us some fucked up shit that you would do.
That you happy to be the villain.
To a human, not an animal.
Whatever, dude.
Okay, now you Peter. All right. Okay, that's what we're doing
And
now.
I felt so good from trying to save that fucking dog, but that ended up being honestly, it's one of the worst things I've ever done. I by the end of that, I wish like hell I wouldn't have picked that dog up. I was like, this is what I get for trying to be a good fucking Samaritan. This is why I tend to stay in my lane of being the villain. Like,
and the girl that threw the dog, like,
First of all, the moment she said she wouldn't get back, I would instantly just put her information out there. Like, let the devil have you. I'm out of it. I'm not.
Let the devil have you. Who grandma are you? Let the devil have
and then after that, she wouldn't talk to me at work no more. And she blocked me on Facebook. And she cut me off.
You cut me off because you stole the dog. Because she
wanted to steal the dog. I was just like, oh my God.
I'm sorry. You didn't obey the law. Like,
I was like,
criminal.
She wants you to go to jail for it too?
I was like, you know what? And I had talked to her because I had knew a lawyer. And I talked to her. I said, what can happen if like they go, because they were saying they were going to call the police. She's like, well, technically pets are people's property. So if you took it, you're stealing it. So yeah. And I said, look, you need to get them their fucking dog back. But yeah, so I like, as the person that took the cat, I get why he did it. But as somebody that tried to save an animal before, I'm like, you know what? I don't want this drama in my life.
Theft is theft is theft. She stole the damn cat.
And it's like with you stealing the dog, right? Because that's essentially what you did. You stole the dog, and then they're working with you, and you still like, nah. Like, what was her plan? Was you gonna wait? Was you gonna wait the 10-day period?
No,
like,
she was just flat out ignoring them. She wouldn't respond to them at all.
Because they have your information. So the next thing,
they have my information.
They would have came after
you. And
you.
because I'm in this neighborhood, they know I live over here.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, you are creating so many issues for me right now.
I
just moved over here.
All her information. They would have knew where she worked at. They would have knew her phone number.
They came and got her at work that morning.
Would have sent a picture of the bitch. They would have been able to find that bitch. I'm out of it.
Yeah. The address too? You would have leaked her address too?
Yeah, because I had her address at that point too. Because I dropped the dog off at her house.
I would have gave it right to him. Here you go.
Then you throwing the dog at me after you knew I had to say
it. And I'm like, man, I said, you know what?
That was like a fuck you.
Man, it was a big fuck you. And then I was talking to another coworker about it, and I went to her Facebook. I said, "Oh, she blocked me on Facebook. I can't even see her page no more." I said, "She must be real mad at me." I said, "But it wasn't her dog.
Like, it never was.
She knew that from the beginning.
It could have potentially been your dog if they didn't respond."
Yeah, exactly.
Like, if you'd have just waited
to not respond.
But the rebuttal would have been, let's say they'd have waited the 10 days and you never posted that you found the dog. They'd have been like, well, how did I know the dog was missing? You know what I mean?
Now, yeah, if I would have never posted that I was looking for the owner of the dog or whatever, then yeah, the owner wouldn't know where the fuck the dog was.
Yeah.
According to them, it's just gone. But like I said, I was trying to do the right thing.
Yeah.
I just knew I didn't want the fucking dog, but I also didn't want the dog to potentially get hit by a car either.
Because they'll do it.
So I was
dogs
like,
don't care. They run across the street, busy traffic. They don't care.
So with fucking cats, the amount of cats I've almost hit, especially when I lived in my apartment, and I would have to go around a corner to get out of the apartment complex, and it would be pitch black outside when I would go to work. And as soon as I would finish that turn, it would be a cat sitting right in the middle of the road. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Or just laying there.
I'm like, get out the street.
Saying, hit me with your best shot.
Shut up. You hurt.
I think you run over animals. This is what I'm taking from this conversation.
No,
I don't. Do you have you ever had animals?
Yeah, I've had dogs.
I had one dog. I hated every bit of it.
I love my dog.
I loved my dog. I just hated having it.
She loved her some of me. She was mean to everybody else. Like, I'd be like, do she bite? I'm like, she don't bite me.
You one of those.
She don't bite me.
Answer I don't like. I go nip.
I'm like, just because it don't bite you, don't mean it won't bite me.
Bite the shit out of my ass.
She was sweet though.
To you?
Then we had another dog. She was mixed with like pit bull and bulldog. She was Oreo.
Nah, I really don't fuck with pit bulls. Man, the number of dogs I've been chased by, it's.
See, I don't mess with those.
Too. Throwback.
I don't mess with those dogs they mix with the wolves and stuff. I don't do all that. That's crazy.
Oh, like huskies and stuff.
Yeah.
See, those are my favorites.
My neighbor
my
had
dog
one.
was
He would fuck you up every time he got a chance.
My dog was a Pomsky.
Ooh.
So it was a Pomeranian Husky mix.
Nah, I don't fuck with those.
And so it was supposed to stay small. Like literally all the research I did on this dog was like, oh yeah, they typically range from like 10 to 15 pounds. And I'm like, bet I want a small dog. I got this fucking dog.
He's about 85 pounds.
No, he only got up to about 35. But I was just like, fuck, you was supposed to stay small, dude. And that dog would charge at you. Not like charge at you like to bite you, but charge you to be like to play with you, to interact. And that dog thought he was 10 pounds. But when he would like pounce on you, it's like, dude, I feel every bit of that. Like that hurts.
So I don't got pets?
You don't have no pets?
Oh no, I don't want pets. I got kids. I don't need pets.
Jade don't want pets, but her household does.
I don't want no pet. I don't want no pets. I already
Not even a goldfish?
No, I don't want nobody else to keep alive. I don't want nobody else to feed. I don't want nobody else to keep alive. I don't want nothing else with a fish.
That's what I tell my sister. Her kids want a teacup Yorkie. I said, who gonna
That's a lot of work. Who doing that?
About this big. I said, who finna hold that? Who finna watch it?
I always get scared they're gonna end up lost in my house somewhere.
I feel like my sister kids would shake them.
Shaking babysitter with the.
I think they would shake because they play with their toys rough. So I'm like, I let alone a little bitty miniature dog. Like, yeah, I know.
I just don't want no dogs. Everybody want a
dog.
Dogs
are a lot of work to me. That I don't want to put in. Like I've always said that if I were to ever get another dog, it would be when I'm living with someone else that can help me take care of a dog, because it takes too much work to take care of a dog.
It's like a person.
And I just don't have the time to take care of a dog, so I don't have one.
That's why I ain't got one.
No
people ain't gonna do nothing.
Yeah, her household wants a dog, but Jay doesn't.
People
want
ain't
one.
doing nothing, and I ain't doing.
You don't think Victor would take care of the dog?
No.
Really?
No.
He can give him Modelo's. He gonna get a dog some Modelo's.
No, he just.
Let me tell you what Victor did.
What'd he do?
While I was on the phone with you, and during that damn storm that you tricked me on.
You gonna never let her live that down.
I'm on the phone with Jay,
and it's like so dark,
and it's like the alarms are going off, saying prepare emergency weather, whatever. We are in the Midwest, so
take it serious.
Take it seriously. And Jade is driving home, and she's like, "Oh my God, it's so dark out here. It's pitch black behind me."
It was.
It rained for like
2 seconds,
2 minutes, and then it was done. And I had been waiting. It was a Friday, and Fridays is the days where I get like a pizza or something for myself, because I'm like,
you ain't gonna blame me.
And I literally called, like when I was on the phone with her, I was like, man, I was just about to go out and get me a pizza. Now I can't even do it because the way she talking, I'm like, man, it really is about to be a tornado out here in this bitch.
Seen it. It was out there.
And then it was out there. And then so now that, I done got my warning from somebody that's out there already, I'm like, well, let me sit my black ass down then, because I ain't about to go out there and deal with this. It rained for like 2 minutes, and then I ate something else while I was waiting.
You ain't gonna blame me.
And now I'm like, man, I could have even got my fucking pizza.
Yeah.
No. Now it's too late, and I had done eaten already.
Don't blame me.
So
you
this
get
girl
pizza from that one place we was talking about, wasn't it?
Chicago Pizza?
Yeah.
Yeah. So while I'm on the phone with her, she going, we were supposed to grill today, and I bet Victor ass is out there on that damn patio trying to get grilled still.
And
I ain't mad at him. I ain't mad at him.
He
put a canopy or something up, didn't he?
No, he just out there.
He just out there.
And shit, just out there.
And when she got home, she said he was. I said, now why is that man still sitting outside?
Because he don't care.
I said, it ain't worth your life.
He felt his life. He said, "Oh, it's all right. It'll pass." He felt his life wasn't in danger.
Well, now that I know what it actually was outside,
for 2 minutes, I'd have stayed out there too.
Right. No, it's because he prepped the grill and everything. Was like, "F that rain." I already prepped this grill. I done made the food. We doing it.
Well, I got a question for y'all.
Yeah,
a couple questions that I heard on the socials. However often or long ago I saw it.
What question?
One of them said, can you fully trust someone that was at one point your op?
No.
It depends why.
See, and when I heard that question, I said, I feel obligated to say, yes, you can, because I have been the op before that
You
became
always the
friends. That became friends with
Always
somebody.
the
And I'm like, but I want them to
Uh.
fully trust me once I become your friend. Now what we do when we enemies, hey,
Nah.
it is what it is.
I said, like I said, it depends.
I feel like
it
you're
depends.
just getting more ammunition.
Nah, and that's, I also said this. I was like, it also depends if they come clean about what they did when they were the op.
That's fair.
When I became friends with people that I didn't like and had did some bad shit to, I told them what I did to them. I said, hey, before we get into this friendship, because I don't want nobody coming to you and being like, Jocelyn said and did X, Y, Z. I'm about to tell you everything Jocelyn did and said about you. Like my old roommate that I tried to get fired from my old job.
She deserved it, though.
She did deserve it, and I stand by that. But I told her, once we became friends, I told her, I said, hey, just so you know, I tried to get you fired. And I told her how I tried to get her fired, what I did, who I was working with. Because it was two of us that was trying to get her fired.
You had a mini team, huh?
And actually, the other person built the team. She came to me with the idea, and I was like, you know what? That's a great idea. But, and, you know.
Messy.
No, but ain't you gotta have in your heart to get somebody fired? Like, you messing up her livelihood. You like, nah.
Fuck that bitch.
Yeah,
She
fuck
finna
her.
get fired.
She was messing up my livelihood because I kept having to cover for her ass.
I feel that.
So
I don't be friend ops. So once we ops, that's it.
Yeah.
I
Once it's stuck forever.
now I will say going the opposite direction. Once we were like, if we were friends and then you became the op, yeah, once you the op, you the op. But if we never actually really talk to each other, so we really don't even really know each other.
Still.
So
what if they do something like real messed up?
Now,
Like
yeah,
you can't come back from.
Revenge lives
then you
forever.
can't come back from it. But a lot of things you can come back from.
Nah.
And honestly, at that point,
That
I was
Gandhi
the op.
talk.
So that was up to
That Gandhi talk. Bring me back 25, Jocelyn. Where's she at? Because I don't know this one. Who this fuck?
Here's my thoughts on that. I'm the op, so you have to be the one to decide whether you can get past that or not.
Mm-hmm.
So if she couldn't get past the fact that I tried to get her fired at one point, I would 100% understand. Like, I'm just saying.
It's the getting her fired.
It didn't work though.
It didn't work.
So,
you know, no harm, no foul.
Yeah, like a document. Like, why didn't it work?
Because it takes a lot to get somebody fired. If they do what if the manager is actually doing what they supposed to do, you can't just go to them with all of the things highlighted how they violating policy, and they just be like, all right, well, she fired. You can't do that. And I did that. I literally downloaded policies and highlighted.
So you did homework.
Yeah.
She doing homework.
I highlighted every instance where she was
violating.
violating.
Somebody who did all that to me. I'm like,
in APA format too, bro.
cited
and then I put a meeting on the calendar with the boss, and I went over every single one with her. I said, this is every time she has violated these policies.
Even down to the minute ones.
I didn't give
so
a fuck.
You
She
told
needed
her
to be
that
gone.
whole story, and she still won't talk to you.
That's why I said that's up to her.
It's a chemical.
That ain't up to me.
I want to talk to your ass.
I'll cut you
I
off.
wouldn't talk to me either. I could not be friends with somebody that I know tried to get me fired.
Mm-mm.
But again, as the op, that's not up to me whether you can get past
So
that
do
or
you
not.
think like as the op, by being the op, you have the upper hand to, not even the upper hand, you have more of opportunity to become the friend because that person has to make that initial step?
No, I don't think the op has the more potential to become the friend. I'm just saying if y'all do become
I'm saying like
friends,
if you started off as the op, like in your situation, do you think you
and
had
honestly,
more?
I still blame her anyway. I had no issue with this woman until she had an issue with me.
Okay.
So she made me the op.
So on the other, so if
Jocelyn
it was,
always
so
the damn op. I
if
be
she
believing
was
her.
the op originally, like
Because she did not like me, no.
like if you didn't like her
Mhm.
for whatever reason,
Okay.
would you, if she reached out and say, "Hey, I want to be your friend," would you still want to be her friend?
Like if she tried to get me
roles were
fired?
yeah, if roles were reversed.
No, I'm not being friends with somebody that I know tried to get me fired. The fuck? You don't give a fuck about my livelihood?
Nah.
And I'll tell you, I didn't give a fuck about her livelihood.
Hungry,
Huh?
and the only way to feed them is to sleep with her.
Like, I didn't give a fuck about her livelihood. Like, she would call in so much.
You guys weren't like roommates or nothing like
No,
that?
we weren't associated in any way other than that job at that point.
Oh, well, no, that's grounds. That's fair. That's valid.
So, and then
Replace her.
and then we became friends after that.
I wouldn't be your friend.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
What
You
I'm
have
saying
shit
is
on your
I
shirt.
wouldn't be my friend either.
Like,
But
I hate you. Let's die because I couldn't be a friend. I couldn't be a friend.
look, I'm not disagreeing with y'all. I'm saying I wouldn't be my friend either.
Like,
after finding that out. But
you gonna have me out here selling on this and that? You gonna have me walking down MLK?
Her friend. I couldn't become her friend without telling her what I did. That was my thing.
That's real, but you should have took that to the grave because she was already naive enough to make you her friend. She probably knew you was gonna get her fired. She ain't stupid.
Well, at least my conscience was clean. That was the whole point of me telling her.
Oh, you should have just kept that. You should have just kept that confession.
That shows you how much I gave a fuck. Because be my friend, don't be my friend. Like, that's up to you. But just know, I tried to get you fired.
Me personally,
it's a no for me, dog.
Yeah, me personally, it's a no for me. Like once I say I hate you, I don't like it.
Look,
let your mama love you.
And let's also remember this: I got my karma because the next job,
Everybody
somebody tried to get me fired.
Hell, you get.
I had 20 people trying to get me fired.
That's what you get.
Double the amount of people.
20 people.
You had a team on you, goddamn it.
And it was my team.
Karma don't skip nobody. That's what
It was
get.
my fucking team. It was because they were all cool with so there was 2 supervisors for this one team.
Mm-hmm.
And they split the staff in 2. I had half, she had half. And some of her actual like personal friends were on my team. And this woman, I found out because somebody on my team came to me and was like, just so you know, they are actively talking about getting you fired. And she was like, and this woman, she would approve days off for my staff, but wouldn't tell me. So then I ding them for no call, no shows. And then they'd be like, but she approved it. I had to actually go to this woman and say, stop approving my staff's time off. When they request time off, tell them they need to see me. And I'm not even somebody that will deny PTO. I don't believe in that. Never have.
Because if it's on the other foot, I'm not. Prepare the
I don't
others.
request
that's why
time off.
Prepare the others.
I don't request time off. But because these companies have policies, especially for hourly staff, where if you don't show up, that is a ding towards you. So if I don't know that this has apparently been approved, I'm going to ding you for it.
And then the lady that was approving it should have communicated with you.
But she wanted to get me fired. And what better way to do that than to have me wrongfully giving people occurrences on their attendance, which then gets them written up, potentially fired, all this other stuff. Like, what better way to get me fired?
She sacrificed them. That's messed up. They didn't view it that way.
They was pawns.
Yeah, they were.
In the whole scheme of things.
And so, yeah, she did that. And then I think the last straw I had there was when they actually pulled me into a meeting and told me that the staff told them that I made them fear that I was going to fire them for some type of out of some type of retaliation. And I was just like, I can't just fire somebody for the hell of it. Like, I would need some kind of documentation. Something would have to be going on for me to fire them. Like, that's above my pay grade. And they made me meet with each person, all 20 staff, one-on-one, and apologize to them because they felt intimidated by me.
Quit.
I did. That's right before I found the job at Myers and Stauffer. I said, I can't do this no more. I can't do this. I can't do this. So I was like, you know what?
They made you go an apology to her.
They sure did. I had to meet with every single one. And
all 20?
All 20. Even the ones that didn't directly report to me. I said, damn. Okay.
Humiliation ritual, ain't it?
Yeah. And most of the people that I was meeting with, when I was telling them I'm apologizing for making you feel intimidated, they was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And I was just like, yeah, I kind of thought most people wouldn't know what I was talking about.
I assume it wasn't even all of them. It was maybe like...
It's probably literally just a handful of people.
Literally a pinch. A pinch of people, like a little sprinkle. And they were like, you know, that's enough evidence. We
Here's the
forward.
Craziest thing. That job, so much shit happened to me in that one job. I've never cried so much at work in my life. They had me cry there. I cried. They didn't have me cry, but
tears of anger.
Dude, tears of fucking rage. Like, there had been times, and I think I've told Jade this before, there had been times that I had worked, because my schedule was 6 to 2:30. There had been times where I would go in at 6 o'clock and still wouldn't leave until like 10 p.m. And the VP at that time, you know, was cool. And they told me, so like I said, this team had 2 supervisors, me and one other person. And they decided, it had a manager too, but the manager decided she wanted to step back down to her previous role. They made her a director. She wanted to go back down to manager, which means she went to another team. So now we needed a manager for this team. And the VP literally pulls me to the side, sends me a message, hey, can you come to this room? Calls me into the room, tells me that this position is going to become available. And she specifically told me she wanted me to apply. And I'm like, bet, I'll get my resume updated. She tells me to send her my resume so that she can look at it before I submit it to HR. I'm like, even better. So I submit my resume to her. She helps me come up with a cover letter for it that would make me look more attractive for the position. Now, mind you, I'm already the supervisor for this team, so I'm technically doing management work for it anyway. But she looks at it, she reviews my resume, she helps me get it updated and everything. Then the position posts. And me and the other supervisor's current boss, who is a dude that I couldn't stand, but he was he managed both me and this supervisor who were non-clinical, and he also handled the nurses, the clinical staff. He goes to all the clinical staff and tells them about this position. Never tells me and the other supervisor. I only know about this position because the VP told me about it, but the other supervisor didn't know about it. And I was really cool with the nurses. And they come to me and was like, yeah, he specifically told us not to tell y'all about the position. And I said, that's fucked up, because we technically already managed this team. So I go to the VP and I tell her what's going on. I'm just like what's going on with this position? And her exact words to me were, that position is yours. And I was just like, all right, cool. So then a couple weeks go by, and now one of the directors pulls me into a conference room. Mm-hmm. And she tells me that not only am I not going to get that position, they're not even going to interview me for it.
Huh.
Yeah. So I'm like, well, I haven't been talking to her about this position at all. So I don't know how she's starting to come into the mix. So what I do is I go to the VP, and her desk, so we sat in cubes, even our VP sat in cube, and her cube was literally on the other side of the wall of mine. So we could literally just be this close to each other. There's just a wall between us. And I went to her desk and I was talking to her, and I was just like, I'm genuinely just confused. I don't understand how it went from it's my position to I'm not even going to be interviewed. And before I know it, I'm sitting at her desk just bawling, just crying. She had to get me up and take me into a conference room. I was crying so hard. And I was so mad. Like, the longer I sat there, the madder I got. And I was just like, I genuinely just don't understand. And my brain is short-circuiting right now. And then, like a couple months later, the VP announces that she is going to retire. And I was just like, that's kind of sudden, but whatever. It's her decision. And they announced that who the new manager is. They decided to hire somebody externally and bring them in. Whatever. She was a cool chick. I had no issues with her. But then I still have my staff, and I would have a check-in with one of them in particular every week at like 7 a.m. because both of us got there at 6 a.m. So we wanted to do it before people started coming in. And she's sitting at my desk. We're doing the check-in. And she said something along the lines of, yeah, I just have no respect for the new manager. And I said, why? She said, because I don't like how she got her job. And I was just like, what you mean? She's like, you don't know who that is? And I was like, should I? And she was like, that's the VP's daughter. And I said,
The plot thickens.
I said, oh.
Whoa.
That's why I didn't get the position. That's why she decided to retire.
She led you on so good.
Is that like nepotism?
Oh, it is, yeah. 100%. Well, she quit so that it wouldn't be seen that way.
But she probably already had the position
That
prior to the posting.
I truly don't think that the position was intended to go to her from the beginning. I think that after it just timing thing. I think she just decided to leave her current job when that position was finally about to start being interviewed for. Like when they first decided to bring a manager in, I don't think it was thought of that it was going to be the VP's daughter. I think that happened afterwards.
Did the VP's daughter have experience though?
Mm-hmm, she did.
Okay.
But we both had the same experience at that point.
Oh, so it really
she
wasn't.
bamboozled
right.
you out of a
She
job.
literally did. And
she helped you too. That's so cold.
Yeah. I was like, I wouldn't feel so bad about it if she hadn't told me it was mine and actually helped me do the resume to apply
send me
for
your cover letter and
literally.
I'm going to help you.
I'm like, you worked
Maybe she
overtime.
was sabotaging you the whole time.
Really was using your resume to boost her daughters probably.
So then because me and my old manager, who used to be the director of that team, but then she decided, she's like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to manage this team. So she decided to demote herself.
Mm-hmm.
I messaged her. I said, were you aware that my current manager was the VP's daughter? And she said everything she said. She was just like, do you want me to tell the truth? And I said, you don't even need to say nothing because that tells me everything I need to know. But yeah, apparently I was the only one that didn't know that was the VP's daughter.
That's why I be quitting jobs without 2-week notices.
And I said,
exactly why.
I think that's hilarious.
What?
You don't give them a 2
I'll leave it. I noticed one job. I said I left something. I was like, yeah, let me go get this.
Yeah, that was funny when you said.
Left. I ain't coming back.
Yeah, I will say I had some stress at my last job, but
not on that level.
No, it's nowhere near from when I was working at that company.
But it wasn't.
I mean, sabotage was still happening at that company too, but it wasn't nowhere near on the level of that one company that promised me that position, and then actually just swiped that bitch from under me.
Swiping on your ass.
Literally.
And then it wasn't even like the same people that was offering you that told you had the position. It was like different people telling you, like, nah, you ain't got it.
Literally, I'm like, but the VP, who's above all of y'all, is telling me I do.
I think she just used your resume to honestly tweak her daughters.
I was just like, well, damn, that's kind of fucked up. So yeah, I don't even know how we got on that topic. Oh, people being the op. Yeah. And I got my karma back from when I tried to get my old roommate fired.
Yeah, that was funny.
That's why you got to stop doing it.
Yeah,
20 people shot to fire. That's a lot.
Karma don't skip nobody.
That's a lot.
Karma don't skip nobody.
And then here's the craziest thing though. Whenever something was going wrong, like, or the number of times where like somebody had got peppermint oil in their eye, and I don't know, it's never happened to me, but I've heard that it's pretty painful. They didn't think, go get the manager, go get somebody else, go get the person that she actually reports to. They come get me. Yeah. When somebody was crying because they was upset because their boyfriend left them, they came and got me. I'm like, but yeah.
I have all these complaints.
I'm like, I got all these damn complaints, but yeah, I'm also the one they want to get fired.
And you think it's a good idea to get rid of me?
You think it's a good idea to get rid of me when I helped get the metrics where they need to be. Clearly I'm trusted with the staff because they come get me anytime they having some kind of mental health crisis. And I'm just like, but yeah, I'm still the bitch. Okay. So.
Don't you always the hop? That's how it go.
Yeah, me and Jay was just talking about that yesterday with community, how I was always blamed for anything y'all did.
Yeah, like when I turned up, Jocelyn had something to do with that.
Jocelyn must have had something to do with it. She was behind this shit.
Put that battery in that man back.
Double A.
That's enough.
How disrespectful to your coworkers. That was my thought.
It's just disrespectful all around. Because I'm like, it says that y'all are just puppets. And then I'm just like, I don't have that much control over people. I really don't. I don't even want that much control over people.
I was like, how disrespectful to them. They was wilding out because they wanted to.
I didn't start wilding out till a year in. Because I was green, I was gullible, I was impressionable.
I don't know when you started wilding out, because you know what? And I had to explain this to them. I didn't work with you that much.
Nah.
So I'm like, I don't know what the fuck Antonio does.
For like me, it was because I worked both shifts. So like I would see like the difference in treatment. Like when I would work day shift, I'm treated like royalty. I'm pampered.
Night shift for something else. Oh, it was
fucking second
else.
shift. Now you treating me like shit. You telling me get
You
this
stupid,
done
you
before you
nothing.
leave. Before you leave, you punk bitch. That's how you treating me. So
but
like,
the thing was, all of that was cool as long as it stayed with you. I don't understand how I kept getting roped into that shit.
I don't know either. Because remember,
but y'all both have seen it happen.
They hated your gut.
Like I didn't understand that. Like when we had that kumbaya and everybody got upset and then they feelings because I said y'all lazy sacks of shit, and they were like Jocelyn had something to do with that. Like damn, I can't have my own words.
I had never been to a single one of their meetings in my life.
Nah, that one would have pissed you off.
But I purposefully didn't go to their meetings. For one, I'm a PRN person. They made those meetings optional for PRNs because we're not there all the time. And usually your PRN has a whole nother job they got to go to. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not going.
That's why I didn't understand when I went PRN. They said, we having these meetings and you're not a part. I said, brother, I'm not going to be here for the meetings. Like, what do you mean?
Why would you expect me to?
Or check my email. That one rubbed me the wrong way.
I mean, check your email. It didn't rub me the wrong way. I get it to stay up to date, but I wouldn't make it mandatory because I would just make sure I tell them it's just your responsibility to make sure you stay up to date, however you do it. But
because it's like with them learnings or whatever it was, don't tell me 3 months after you said it in huddle, and you think like, oh, I'm about to get on Incom and check that every week. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that part did bug me, expecting us to, like, they wouldn't tell us stuff that happened in huddle. And but expect us to know it. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But the other thing I saw on the socials was someone said that they expect their friends to talk about them behind their back.
Sucks to be you,
right?
Friends you got.
I think I'm popping. I don't know. I think I'm cool, so I don't know.
I'm a delight.
And I had commented on this post, and I said there's a difference between venting and talking crap and talking about your friends behind their back.
Yeah,
I'm like, talking behind somebody's back, especially your friends, is hater activity.
Yeah,
I'm like, that's just hater behavior.
If you could do that,
I'm like, but venting because your friend is a little annoying this day, that's different. I mean, me and Jay talked about this before. We find each other annoying sometimes. Would I be mad if I found out that Jay went to her other friends or even to Victor and been like, God, she was so fucking annoying today. Like, she just did this and this and this. No, she's venting about it. I ain't mad about it. I know I'm fucking annoying sometimes. But if Jay was going behind, like, Jocelyn's just the dumbest person. Like, she's so fucking stupid. She always doing dumb shit. And it's like, hold up. Now you damaging my character. You talking about I'm dumb.
Your friend should be venting to your ass about your ass either. Vent to me if I'm your friend. What you venting to others for?
And if I'm your friend, we should be able to have that open dialogue.
And now I will say that too. You should be able to talk to your friend when they annoy you. But I genuinely don't have an issue with venting about your friends to other people.
Don't be venting about me to nobody.
Girl, whatever. If I ever get a boyfriend, you better know.
You in the pillow talk.
You know all your business.
And that's the other thing. I'm like, come on now. Like, you better know damn well. And then also, I also know you will vent to your sister about me.
Yeah, everybody Monet knows.
And whoever and you might not do this, but I would just assume whoever you actually consider to be your best friend, you vent to them about me.
No, just Victor and Monet. Now Monet and Victor know everybody.
But I know you have who your best friend is, but my personal opinion, your actual best friend is your sister.
Yeah,
which is why I do expect you to vent to her about me. Like, Lord. But that's what I mean. But I don't expect you to be going to your sister and like actually talking about me,
like bad mouthing.
I don't like you. If I don't like you, I ain't fit be your friend.
Exactly. If the people have to wonder if you actually like that person or not, that's more than just venting. Like,
you know that happens. You're like, do you even like
yeah, like it sounds like you don't like her.
And it's like, I don't know. I feel like if you can't say it to their face, then maybe
Y'all
you
not
shouldn't.
friends.
Then you ain't really friends anyway.
Yeah.
Now, anything that I've ever vented about Jade knows that I've vented about it.
We
about
talk
her.
about it. We weird.
Because Jade know that sometimes her energy is a bit much for me. But I have no issue with telling Jade that. Just like Jade sometimes will occasionally have issue with how rigid I am. That's who I am. So we don't try to change each other. That's the thing.
Yeah, we shady. We say it to each other's face. I'm like, excuse me. I'll take my happiness elsewhere then. Go about my fine then.
And it's really that simple. But again, it's because we're not ruled by our emotions.
Whatever your name was.
Okay, he ain't gonna like that one.
I mean, it's like, I think more people need to be like that. If you can't tell your friends, if you can't vent to your friends about your friends,
they not your
friend. They really your friend?
And if you can't hold your friend accountable when they do shit that you don't like, then like,
I mean, yeah, like Jay will hold me accountable. Like she literally just told me, she told me I needed to stop hanging out with a certain person because she don't think that we are good for each other.
Sure ain't.
And that's good. That's
but
good. Now, will you follow that advice?
No,
that's up to you.
No,
clearly not,
won't.
Because I was just with them on Tuesday.
Like I said, no, she won't. No, she won't. And then
Glutton
she complained to me. And then call me complaining. Call me complaining about this person. I'm like, oh, that person I told you don't see no more.
I know you said I ain't supposed to see them, but
I mean,
I'm here and I'm complaining. I'm like, I bet you are.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Yeah. I am who I am.
Okay, can't change.
But that's the great thing about me and her friendship.
We don't change each other.
She ain't trying to change me. She gonna say whatever she got. And honestly, she held that in. Because it took her a while to actually tell me that.
Because I was hoping you was seeing. You wasn't seeing.
She thought you was going to like see it yourself. Then she's like, let me just guide you a little nudge.
Like, she ain't looking with her eyes.
It would happen eventually because I get worn out from people really quickly. Like, I get to the point where I'm like, okay, I've been around you too much. I need to give you a break before I start to dislike you. Like, I'm just that kind of person. So I would have seen it eventually. And I think that's what prompted her to actually tell me, because I was like, man, I think I'm starting to dislike this person. I think I'm like, I just need to give them a break. I need to give them a break. I can't see them no more for like a month.
Like, I got friends like that. I can't hang out with them all the time.
Yeah.
Really?
Because you're even
I have a social battery. And
people think that yes, energy suckers tends to be seen as a bad thing. But your friends are also energy suckers.
Yeah, put time into that.
Yeah. I'm like, Jay sucks my energy from me, and I'm sure I take it from her too.
Because you got like your low maintenance friends.
I do consider me and Jay to be low maintenance friends.
We just chill.
But I also have some friends that they want to always be doing something, and I'm just like, I love you, but
for me, like a good time is sitting down, chilling.
Yeah, we
literally
eat and we watch something and we laugh and we have a good time.
That would be time, or it used to be times, because Jay don't come to my house to hang out as much anymore. But we be sitting there, both of us on our phones, silent.
Nobody's saying
and that's a good time.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Sometimes I go sleep.
Yeah, I have walked out of rooms and saw her on my couch sleep before, wrapped up in a blanket.
Wrapped up like I'm at home.
Cozy. And we all know the time where she got mad at me for eating my own chips.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was diabolical.
I was like, what kind of friendship am I entering? Because that was at the very beginning of our friendship.
And you had the nerve to eat all these chips in your house.
I said, and honestly, I didn't even point that out initially. I had to take a step. I said, are you talking about the chips that belong to me and you ate them? And then she go, you know what I did, didn't I? I'm like, you sat there last time you was here and picked out, because I had a mixture of chips.
Yeah, because it was the Chex Mix, wasn't it?
No, it was
sour cream Ruffles.
Cheddar sour cream Ruffles, some Flamin' Hots, and I think I had like some white cheddar popcorn or something. It was my own little concoction of mixed chips. And she actually sat on my couch one day while we was watching K-dramas and was picking out all of the Ruffles. And then she came back like a week later, because I had them in an airtight container.
No Ruffles, I was mad.
And she pop up in the thing, and it's like, you done ate all the Ruffles out of here.
After you picked them out.
First of all, they're mine.
And if I've got a mixture, best believe I'm eating all three at once.
Exactly.
No.
I'm like, if anything, the reason that thing is still here is because you ate all the goddamn Ruffles. I don't have the cheesy to balance the hot.
I ate it all. I did.
I said, you know what? That should have been my first sign.
Yeah.
I told Victor that story. He goes, yeah, that sounds like you.
That should have been
Flipping
my
the
first.
script. You done ate all the goddamn shit. Can't even get no Ruffles.
Gaslighting me.
Then you had to think about it. Wait a minute. You dug through. You dug through there.
And then I said,
She
I
right.
did eat all them fucking Ruffles.
And you about to sit here and go off on me for eating my shit.
In
In
her
her
house.
In my house.
I'm the worst.
Jay said, you just holding this property for me.
Dude, at one point, Jay had me buy a box of Cinnamon Toast
Didn't
Crunch
eat it.
because she wanted a snacky snack.
Mm-hmm.
I bought this
I
damn
didn't eat that
thing.
shit.
She didn't eat not a single bowl of it.
I'm the worst.
So you done made this woman go to the store,
I was already going to the store.
get you a box. And I know it wasn't a little box.
No, she did. She bought the big box. You know how she is.
Because I'm like,
She's
oh,
so
Jay
considerate.
comes over here all the time. If she likes Cinnamon Toast Crunch, I'll just make sure I have some.
And I
for
ain't
her.
eat a bowl of it.
She didn't eat a singular bowl of it. And I don't really fucks with Cinnamon Toast Crunch like that.
Funny to me.
I had to actually take that box of cereal to her house and leave it there for her to actually eat it.
You done had this woman hold this box captive.
I held it for a long time,
That's what
too.
I'm saying. It's still in the seal. Probably done got by the sell by date, and then you was like, I'm gonna take it to her house.
And I ate it too at home.
I said,
That's what it was. It needs to be at home.
I said, the only way this woman is going to eat this shit is if I take it to her house.
But the thing is, I don't live alone though, so it's like other people eat it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the kids were probably.
But we used to have a good time, though, watching our K-dramas and stuff. Eating, that was when we was on our honey bun addiction.
Yeah, come January, I'll have my time back.
Yeah.
And, we can hang out again.
Well, I guess we better call it I'm tired and I'm sleepy, and I have to go to Nate's house today.
Name dropping?
I mean, I've talked about Nate, I don't know how many times on this show
Yeah, on this
already.
episode alone, I think you said his name like 4 or 5 times.
Well, we've been spending quite a bit of time together lately,
Mhm.
so you probably hear his name a lot. But yeah, we're supposed to be putting together a 3D music box puzzle.
Oh, yeah, that's dope.
Hopefully it's been delivered because I'm actually pretty excited. It's a harp. But
Ooh.
anywho,
Does it play music?
Mhm.
Oh, that's cool.
So with that, you guys know the drill. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and
Share
on the audio platforms and on YouTube and on the audio platforms. Make sure you like, comment,
rate and review,
and follow. Comment. Please. That is really helping. And Adrian, I see you. I saw your comment on there. I forgot to respond, but I will do that later. But yeah, make sure you do the commenting. That really, really does help us out a lot. Even if you disagree with us. Like,
we'll debate with you. Sorry.
I mean, it depends on how I'm feeling that day, but yeah. What you say?
Engagement is engagement.
Engagement is engagement.
Sure is.
So, yeah, just make sure you do all the things. And with that, we will see you guys in the next one. Deuces.
Bye.